Welcome to the shadow frequency, where the veil between this world and the next grows thin, and the things that whisper in the dark are given voice. From the cryptic candlelit studios, deep in the Indiana forests, your host, Matt Wilson, and his spectral producer, Juniper Ravenwood, unearth the forbidden, the forgotten, and the fearsome. So, still your heart, dim the light, and listen closely. For once you tune into the shadow frequency, you may never tune out.
Yeah, a little easier tonight. Let's see, case files, anomalies, spectral communications. Who keeps shoving these back in upside down?
I'm here.
That's one way to announce yourself, sheesh. Here we go. Episode 217, Echoes of a Priestess Reborn.
You make it sound like she just walked back in after a few thousand years off.
Wouldn't be the strangest thing that's happened around here.
True enough. From the haunted halls of history to the deserts of ancient Egypt, this one's got reincarnation, mysticism, and a few goosebumps baked right in.
Then let's open the file and see what rises from the sands.
You got it, Juniper. Let's get into it. This is the Shadow Frequency.
You are tuned to the shadow frequency, where every whisper tells a story from beyond the veil. Hosted by Matt Wilson. Produced by Juniper Ravenwood. With Chris Beach. The darkness continues.
In the dim, fog-choked streets of 1900s London, a little girl named Dorothy Eady fell down the staircase and woke up with whispers of a life not her own. Temples of sand and shadow, the voice of a pharaoh. A name, Omm Sety, carried across thousands of years. Tonight, we step into the twilight of reincarnation, where memory and mystery blur, and the past refuses to stay buried. Welcome to the Shadow Frequency.
Well, Juniper, you got my skin crawling already. Did you pull this one straight out of the sarcophagus?
Something like that, Matt. Let's just say the file cabinet was humming with this one. Your turn. Take us in to the shadows.
Juniper, you've outdone yourself digging into the file cabinet this time. Thank you for unearthing this one. It's a strange case even for us. So let's open the file on Dorothy Eady, a woman whose life feels like it was torn from the pages of an ancient scroll. Now picture this. London, 1904. A 3-year-old girl, Dorothy, is playing in her family's home. It's an ordinary day until she trips and tumbles down a steep staircase. Her parents rush to her side, fearing the worst. She's unconscious, barely breathing. A doctor's called, and for a moment, they think she's gone. But then, her eyes flutter open, and the girl who wakes up isn't quite the same. From that day forward, Dorothy begins to speak of things no child could know. She describes a vast desert, golden under a burning sun. She talks of stone columns carved with symbols, of lotus blossoms floating in sacred pools, of a temple where she once walked as a priestess named Omm Sety. Her parents are baffled. These aren't the imaginings of a toddler. They're vivid, precise, and unrelenting. As Dorothy grows, these memories don't fade. They sharpen. By her teen, she's sketching maps of a place she's never been, the Temple of Seti I in Abydos, Egypt. She describes its layout, every courtyard, every hidden chamber, as if she's walked its halls 1,000 times. She begins to read hieroglyphs, not through study, but as if the symbols sing to her soul. She speaks of a life 3,000 years ago, serving Pharaoh Seti I, a man she claims was not just her king, but her lover. The details are chilling. Dorothy recounts rituals, the scent of incense, the weight of linen robes against her skin. She knows things no one could, things not yet uncovered by archaeologists. In the 1930s, she moves to Egypt, drawn like a moth to a flame. There, she stuns Egyptologists by leading them to ruins they didn't know existed. She points to a spot in the sand and says, "Dig here." They do, and find the remains of a garden she described from her memories. She identifies a hidden chamber in the temple of Seti I, sealed for millennia, and when they open it, her descriptions match perfectly. Every step of her life feels like a thread pulling her back to ancient Egypt. She takes the name Omm Sety, lives near Abydos, and becomes a keeper of its secrets. Locals whisper that she's more than a scholar. She's something ancient, something reborn. Her diaries, filled with meticulous notes, read like a bridge between two worlds, one foot in the present, the other in a time of gods and pharaohs. What makes this case so unsettling is the precision. Dorothy didn't just claim to remember a past life, she proved it, time and again, with knowledge that seemed impossible. Was she truly Omm Sety, a priestess reborn, or was something else at play, something that reached across the centuries to claim her? We're standing on the edge of a mystery here, folks. A life that defies time itself. Dorothy's story makes you wonder, what else lingers in the shadows of our own memories?
Matt, I'm getting chills just thinking about it.
Yeah.
How does someone know these things? It's like she carried a piece of Egypt inside her.
Right. Hold that thought, Juniper. Let's take a quick break and then we'll dig deeper into this enigma.
Wow, listeners, what a ride so far. Dorothy Eady's story has me questioning everything. Past lives, ancient whispers, the ordeal. What's going through your minds right now? Are you feeling the pull of the unknown? Or is this just too wild to believe? Stick with us because Matt's about to take us even deeper. But first, let's hand it over to Chris for a quick word.
Cheers, Juniper. If the shadows have drawn you in, stay a while. Hit that like button, subscribe, and follow us on YouTube, TikTok, and Facebook, or wherever you tune in to your favorite podcasts. Dive deeper at shadowfrequencypodcast.com. There, you can explore our complete episode archive, check out our Shadow blog for deeper dives into each case, snag some exclusive merch, or even help support the show by buying us a coffee. And here's something fun. Leave us a voicemail on the site and tell us where in the world you're listening from. You just might hear yourself on the next episode. Take it away, Juniper.
Thanks, Chris. All right, time to fire up the spectral cosmic message materializer. Flipping the switches now. And look at that, a ghostly note is flickering through the ether.
Message retrieved from the void.
Let's crack it open and see what's inside from one of our listeners. Here's a message from Destiny in Minnesota. It says, "Hey, Matt and Juniper, I just wanted to say how much I love the Shadow Frequency. I usually listen late at night while I'm painting in my garage studio here in Minnesota. It's the perfect atmosphere. A single lamp, the smell of paint, and your eerie stories echoing through the space. Sometimes I have to stop what I'm doing because I get goosebumps, especially during the file cabinet bit. I swear I hear noises in the corner every time Juniper opens a drawer. I tune in through iHeartRadio, and it's become part of my creative ritual. Keep up the amazing work. You two make the strange and mysterious feel wonderfully alive. Destiny from Minnesota." Destiny, that's amazing. I love picturing your painting under that lone lamp with our stories swirling around you. Maybe those noises in the corner are just the shadows tuning in too. Or maybe not. Keep those brushes moving, and thanks for listening. Want to share your own creepy tale? Drop us a line at shadowpodcast@protonmail.com. All right, Matt, Back to you for the second half of this wild tale.
You are tuned to the shadow frequency, where every whisper tells a story from beyond the veil.
Welcome back, listeners, to the Shadow Frequency. We're diving back into the strange, haunting case of Dorothy Eady, Omm Sety, a woman who claimed to carry the soul of an ancient Egyptian priestess. Let's pick up where we left off and go deeper into the sands of time. Dorothy's life in Egypt was like something out of a dream or a nightmare. She settled in Abydos, near the temple of Seti I, and became a fixture there. Not just a scholar, but a kind of living relic. She worked with Egyptologists, translating text with an ease that left experts speechless. She'd point to a faded inscription and say, "This tells of a festival for Osiris," or "This mentions a priestess who served here." And she was right every time. Her diaries are where things get even stranger. Dorothy wrote of visions, standing in the temple at night, the air thick with myrrh, hearing the chants of priests long dead. She claimed to have conversations with Seti I himself, not as a ghost, but as a presence that lingered in the stones. She described their love story, a forbidden bond between a young priestess and a pharaoh, cut short by tragedy. These weren't vague feelings, they were detailed, intimate, as if she could still feel the desert wind on her face. One of her most stunning contributions was her work at Abydos. She guided archaeologists to a series of underground tunnels she said she remembered from her past life. When they dug, they found them, exactly as she described. She spoke of a library of ancient texts hidden beneath the temple, a claim that still drives treasure hunters today. Some say she was tapping into something beyond human understanding, a thread of consciousness woven through time itself. But here's something to chew on. Not everyone was convinced Dorothy's story was supernatural. Some scholars argued she was simply a brilliant, obsessive mind, one who devoured every book on Egypt she could find. By her teens, she was already studying Egyptology, visiting museums, sketching artifacts. Could her memories have been a mix of deep knowledge and an imagination so vivid it felt real? Psychologists have a term for this, cryptomnesia, where the mind recalls obscure facts but mistakes them for original memories. It's a rational explanation, but it doesn't quite account for the uncanny accuracy of her predictions, does it? Still, the eerie details pile up. Dorothy claims she was destined to return to Abydos, to finish a task left undone in her past life. She lived modestly, almost aesthetically, as if bound to an ancient vow. Locals revered her, saying she carried the aura of someone not entirely of this world. Even her death in 1981 felt like a closing chapter of a much older story. She was buried near the temple she loved, as if finally coming home. What lingers is the question, was Dorothy Eady a bridge to a past life, or did she craft a mythology so perfect it fooled even herself? The story leaves us standing at the edge of the unknown, staring into the shadows of time. Maybe Dorothy's still out there, walking the temple in some other life, whispering her secrets to the stones. What do you think, listeners? Was this reincarnation or something we can't yet name?
Matt, you've got me torn. Part of me wants to believe she was Omm Sety Reborn, but that cryptomnesia idea, it's got me wondering if her mind played the ultimate trick. Either way, it's creepy as hell.
Yeah, that's the fun of it, Juniper. All right, let's wrap this one up. Take it away.
What a journey through time we've had tonight, listeners. Dorothy Eady's story, whether it's reincarnation or a mind weaving its own ancient tale, has us all wondering what secrets our souls might hold. Thanks for joining us on the Shadow Frequency for episode 217. If this tale got under your skin, drop us a note at shadowpodcast@protonmail.com. You can also find us, of course, on Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, or Rumble. And you can check out all things Shadow Frequency at shadowfrequencypodcast.com, our official website. It's got all the episodes, our 24-hour streaming radio station, our store. You can find our show notes. It's all there. And, of course, our blog. Check out all my blog posts there. We'll be back next time with another file from the Cabinet of the Unknown. Matt, you want to say goodnight?
Sleep tight, listeners, unless the shadows start whispering. Good night.
Good night, everyone. Stay curious and maybe check under the bed.
This episode was conjured with a solemn vow to explore the unexplained while remaining bound to the truths that have been unearthed. All interpretations are speculative and offered only for your enlightenment and your entertainment.